How's it going, everybody? It is I, welcome back to some more Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles here in the RU tier versus Rosie for the first battle. You can check out my team in the description. It's just going to be a Life Orb, Nidoqueen, and Mega Blastoise Modest Nature with Bronzong, Max Special Defense, Stealth Rocks on that bad boy with Psywave, Toxic, and Protect, and Levitate. As Rosie just leads off with the Galvantula. Looks like to be running a Sun team with Ninetales and Vileplume, so that's going to be pretty cool. Gets the Sticky Webs up as I get my rocks up right there. Not too worried about Sticky Webs as I can just Rapid Spin them away with my Blastoise later on. As I go for a Toxic over here, and Rosie brings in the Ninetales. Pretty smart since Ninetales doesn't really take much from Bronzong. Unfortunately, I missed a Toxic right there, which does suck. Gonna go for Protect just to see what Ninetales wants to go for. Kind of risky because Ninetales could go for a Nasty Plot and then maybe go for a Z move after that and kind of claim one. But at the same time, I just wanted to protect, and maybe if Ninetales wants to fire off a Z move right off the bat without Nasty Plotting, I could just check and see. So I go into Snorlax. Snorlax is Adamant Banded. I like it a lot. It's pretty cool. And it has a lot of special defense as well. So it could take regularly a lot of special attacks and switching them on them as well. So I just go for the Banded Double Edge as Rosie brought in the Zygarde 10% and I get to just one-shot that because Zygarde doesn't have a lot of defense and Banded Adamant Snorlax is going to demolish it. So in comes Blastoise. I was pretty confident I could take a hit from Blastoise, especially maybe the Blastoise might want to go for a Rapid Spin predicting me to want to switch out. But I just stay in and the Mega Blastoise hits me with a Aura Sphere. And unfortunately, I do not knock out the Mega Blastoise, and I get knocked out by Recoil, but it did a lot of damage to the point where Noivern can come in here and revenge kill the Mega Blastoise with a Flamethrower. So that's pretty good. Also, Blastoise wanted to switch out. It would probably be sacked because of the Stealth Rock. So in came Galvantula, and that was very questionable because I just showed Flamethrower, and I was like, are you actually Scarf Galvantula? So I'm going to switch out because I don't want to get bopped by a Hidden Power Ice Scarf Galvantula and it to knock out my Noivern because that was a weird play. So I'm guessing it is Scarf Galvantula with Sticky Webs and HP Ice. So I just brought in Bronzong just to scout, and plus Bronzong could take anything. It turns out probably it is. I don't know, but I'm guessing it is. I mean, it could be a bluff, but I don't want to risk it because Noivern kind of is really good this game. So in came Roserade as Roserade just goes for the Sleep Powder, and I just threw off a Psywave just to do some damage. And now I just go into Noivern because Roserade can go for maybe like Spikes, it could go for Hidden Power Fire, and I doubt you would want to go for Hidden Power Ice against a Bronzong, so that's why Noivern makes the most sense. And I doubt you'd want to go for Sludge Bomb too on a Steel type. So just gonna Flamethrower the Roserade, knock it out. Life Orb Noivern picking up some KOs over here with Flamethrower. In comes Galvantula again. And I don't want to take a Hidden Power Ice. If it is going to be Choice Scarf, don't want to risk it. But Rosie makes a smart play going for the Thunder, as from the range my Noivern was at, it probably could knock me out. And Bronzong doesn't really care about Thunder. I could take that for days since I'm max special defense. So at least the Galvantula is taking a lot of chip damage from the Stealth Rock since it is 2 times weak to it. It's only Bug and Electric, so only 2 times. And then now Ninetales comes in since I guess Galvantula can't do much, and I'm just trying to wake up with my Bronzong from the sleep from that Roserade. So now I'm just going to go into my Noivern since Noivern will hopefully take a hit from Ninetales, and I live just on a sliver of HP. So that's pretty good. Only 5 HP left, and I get to roost off that damage. Ninetales actually is packing Power Swap, and I was really surprised by that move. I never really see that too much on Ninetales. That's interesting. But as long as Ninetales doesn't have Hidden Power Ice, it shouldn't really break through unless you have Nasty Plot or Hidden Power Ice. Because usually sometimes Ninetales would like to run that to just break through some walls or just KO some mons with a Z move in the RU tier. It's pretty nice. Or I personally like Choice Specs Ninetales. I've used that before and it does a lot of damage to teams. But unfortunately, Rosie's Ninetales is not going to be able to break through my Noivern, and I'm just kind of wasting Sun as well at this point. Also, Hurricane is only 50% accuracy in Sun, so I can't really do much with the accuracy, and I don't want to miss. And my best play is to just keep on roosting and just kind of weaken the Ninetales with Flamethrower because I'm probably going to miss Hurricane. But in came Galvantula. I just Flamethrowered on that turn, and that was pretty good for me. So in came the Vileplume now, and the Chlorophyll is probably activated, so I'm just going to go into my Bronzong, because Bronzong will probably just wall the Vileplume, to be honest. Even hidden Power Fire won't do that much. Sun is gone, and the Vileplume is actually packing Grassy Terrain, which is interesting. Didn't expect that. I guess to power up the grass attacks on the Vileplume, especially with Sun up. And Vileplume actually is packing, I think, Growth as well. You guys will see later on. And the only 2 other moves it has is Sludge Bomb when it tried to knock out my Noivern, and I think Giga Drain. So sack the Ninetales right there. Doesn't really get the Sun up, which, you know, it goes down to rocks before it can, I guess. And in came the Vileplume again. So it goes for a Growth right there, and just raises it by 1 stage, the attack and special attack. I just go for some Side Waves, and yeah, just gonna kind of have to wait until maybe Bronzong can knock out the Vileplume, or Noivern comes in and goes for a Flamethrower and knocks it out. So luckily Vileplume can't do much to me back, and Scythe Wave is pretty nice on Bronzong because it does residual damage pretty effectively to all types of Pokemon, even if they do resist it like Registeel. So some people do like Gyro Ball as well on their Bronzong just for more power, especially against faster Pokemon. Does a lot more damage to, I guess, Slurpuff and anything that has a lot of speed, more than Bronzong. But I like Side Wave more because it can just do a lot more consecutive damage to Pokemon that are just resisted by Gyro Ball and I guess Psychic as well. Like, for example, Registeel. And Registeel has Seismic Toss, so people like to differ between Bronzong or Registeel in the RU tier, which they would rather use. Bronzong has perks of having Levitate, but the Registeel is just so dang bulky, and it doesn't have that added typing, which is Psychic, which makes it weak to Dark and, you know, take neutral damage from Bug, so and weakness to Ghost. So that's going to be a GG versus Rose. Next up we have is versus Crystal over here. Crystal got a very scary team with the Feraligatr and Yanmega. Since I don't have too much to deal with setup sweepers because this team is pretty slow, I got to kind of, you know, just stop them from kind of setup sweeping and maybe protect on them and toxic them down. Luckily, she doesn't have too good switch-ins to my Nidoqueen, so I just decided to lead off with the Nidoqueen. It's going to be Modest Nature, Life Orb, and 4 attacks. Actually leads off with the Registeel, and Registeel does not appreciate a Fire Blast, especially when I critical hit it. So Girl is going to get 2 KO'd, and she just gets her Stealth Rocks up, which isn't the biggest deal because I can Rapid Spin those guys away with my Mega Blastoise. So over here, I kind of expect her to maybe want to switch out, maybe into Melodic, if she wants to go into that. Not Melodic, Feraligatr, because Feraligatr can take the Fire Blast and, you know, scare me out with a water move. But I go for the Thunderbolt, and I was kind of hoping that it would knock out Registeel too, but she went into the Gligar, and the Gligar scares me out with Earthquake. So I'm just going to go into Bronzong, since Bronzong allows me to get my Stealth Rocks up, and Gligar can't do much to me back. The best thing it could do is knock off, and most Gligars don't have that. They usually just have like Defog, Roost, Earthquake, U-turn, Toxic, stuff like that. So the Gligar U-turns into Croco Mama over here, and now all I need to do is just land a Toxic 90% accuracy, and the Feraligatr would be neutralized, and I can just protect on it and just kind of stall it out and let it pretty much knock itself out as well. So she goes for the Dragon Dance right there, trying to break through my team, and then I unfortunately miss a Toxic right there. So now I'm kind of scared of a Crunch from this Feraligatr because it can definitely destroy my Bronzong. So I'm just going to go into my Nidoqueen expecting a Crunch, as pretty much Nidoqueen is going to be the sack. Unfortunately, she goes for another Dragon Dance right there, so I was really surprised that she went for that, because if I hit the Toxic, then Feraligatr would have been gone. As I go for Protect and just keep on switching around it. So down goes the Nidoqueen. I'm just going to go into Blastoise and hope for a Scald Burn. That's like the best thing I can do now, since I missed Toxic and I lost my Nidoqueen, and this Feraligatr is at +2 attack and speed. So it goes for Earthquake, which really surprised me as well. I was like, oh, okay, so this thing probably doesn't have Crunch, because when you see Earthquake, Feraligatr probably just has Liquidation, Ice Punch. Ice Punch is good for grass types. Nobody really runs Crunch, Earthquake, and like Liquidation, because then you wouldn't be able to do a lot of damage to grass types in the tier. So mainly I like to run Earthquake sometimes because of Toxicroak. Toxicroak gave me a little bit of trouble when I ran Crunch, Ice Punch, and Liquidation, especially since Toxicroak is pretty popular now in RU. since it can switch into a lot of water types, and the only real threat to it is like Ice Beam from some water types. Even though Ice Punch from Feraligatr can do a lot, it doesn't KO a lot of Toxicroaks, and Toxicroak can do a lot back to Feraligatr. So unfortunately, I'm going to get demolished by this Feraligatr. 90% of the time I would have not been demolished by it, but I guess that 10% chance happened over here, and my entire team is just going to get swept by it. So gotta be careful of those Feraligatrs. I probably should have just went for a Toxic with my Bronzong instead of switching out into the Nidoqueen. But like I said, I really wanted to keep Bronzong healthy because it was really good versus her team, especially defensive. She has Roserade, she has Cresselia. It could just be so good to sidewave a lot of those Pokemon, especially on Mega as well. So that kind of sucks. I just didn't want to lose my Bronzong, but I guess if I tried to hit another Toxic, actually went for a Dragon Dance, that could have meant that I could have won the game, potentially, because you never know what would happen after that. But that would give me potential to win the game. So that's going to be a GG versus Crystal. Sometimes Pokemon can be a cruel game. And now next up we have versus Alec over here. And Alec has a cool team with a Crustle and a Vikavolt, very nice, and a Mega Banette, and his own Snorlax. So not too much set of sweepers except for maybe like the Virizion, especially with Stealth Rocks and maybe Spikes on the Crustle, I'm assuming. Could even be Shell Smash Crustle, since it does learn it, and maybe some people would want to run that. Gotta be wary of that. So I just lead off a Nidoqueen because Nidoqueen is a very nice lead some of the times. If you expect them to lead off with like maybe a Stealth Rocker, and Nidoqueen can really just bop those guys. So it's gonna go for an Earth Power, do a lot of damage to the Crustle as Crustle just gets up the Stealth Rocks, and it actually turns out to be Leftovers Crustle, so I was surprised by that. I thought it would be like maybe a White Turb Shell Smash set, maybe with Stealth Rocks and Spikes, but nope. Just gonna fire off another Earth Power as it can do a lot of damage to everything except for this Escavalier, which turned out to be a Soul Vest, I'm guessing. But unfortunately for the Escavalier, I have Fire Blast and I can just KO that guy. So goodbye, Escavalier. Next up then comes Snorlax. I can't really do much to a Snorlax since Snorlax has great HP and special defense, so I'm going to switch out into my Bandit Snorlax. And I kind of wanted to just go for a Self-Destruct, I do believe, or Go Kaboom. What is it? Yeah, Self-Destruct. So I thought that would maybe like KO the Snorlax, but oh boy, was I wrong. He is going to be packing the Pinch Berry with Gluttony, and he went for a Curse, so he did get +1 defense. I was just like, maybe Snorlax can knock it out, but I should have just went for the Double Edge, to be honest. I don't know. I really just wanted to go Kaboom for some reason, just to see if Snorlax can knock it out, but I guess I underestimated +1 defense Snorlax, even though it is neutral now, because, you know, Choice Band is like +1, and then the Snorlax with Curse is +1, so it just neutrals it out. So it's basically like I just went for that without no band on a regular Snorlax. Anyways, I go for the Toxic on it with my Bronzong, bringing it out, and put that guy on a timer, as I do live that Crunch right there, which is pretty nice. Good job, Bronzong. Living a +1 Crunch, and I just go for Protect, as the Snorlax wants to go for a Recycle. Get that Pinch Berry back, which is smart, so that it can potentially live some more hits, and do a lot more damage to my team, because Snorlax right now is going to be a big problem for me. I just decided to get my Stealth Rocks up, because there's not much else I can do except for Psywave. Or I can go for a Double Protect, but I felt like Stealth Rocks could be very nice just to weaken Alec's team. So, gets that Toxic damage, but since he recycled, he gets that Pinch Berry, and he is going to regain all that beautiful health. So, I'm going to go bring in my Shaman over here, and I just go for the Seed Flare because I want to try and get like maybe a special defense drop, so that maybe I can knock it out with one of my other special attackers in the back, and I do get that beautiful special defense drop right there, so that means that I can hopefully knock it out with one of my Pokemon, because I was thinking about Bloom Dooming, but I was like, if he recycles, that could be kind of bad, and plus, I don't know if it could put it in range for one of my other special attackers in the back, because Snorlax is just so dang bulky. So I tried to go for the special defense drop, and I got it, so that's pretty good, because Seed Flare does have a pretty high chance to get the drop. So, gonna bring in Nidoqueen just to knock out Snorlax, but he switched out into Crustle, and that guy goes down, so that's pretty good. At least Snorlax is still toxic and weakened, and he has to go for a Recycle to get some more HP. Gonna switch out because I don't want to take a Virizion's like Bloom Doom if it does have it. But unfortunately, it goes for the Hidden Power Ice as I brought in Noivern. I really expected a Grass move right there, so I was like, wow. He got me good right there. I was not expecting a Hidden Power Ice. That wouldn't even KO'd Nidoqueen at all. Like, Nidoqueen would have took that, so I was just like, what the hell? I could have just stayed in and Sludge Waved. So I bring in Nidoqueen again. I guess definitely can deal with a special attack in Virizion, since Virizion isn't really the strongest. Like, I was expecting maybe a Z move from the Virizion. In came the Bennett, and I don't want to stay in against Mega Bennett because Nidoqueen can win the game versus his Vikavolt and Virizion. So I just go into Mega Blastoise, and Blastoise is really just there to kind of just beat the Mega Bennetts. Even if he does switch out, I mean, that's not the end of the world because probably one of my Pokemon could take a hit from the Virizion or the Vikavolt and just knock it out. Especially with Stealth Rock, so Vikavolt's not going to be that much of a problem. So he goes for Destiny Bond, I guess expecting me to stay in and knock him out. But no, I switched into Blastoise. And now Blastoise, unfortunately, is going to be faster than the Bennett and knock it out. So I was kind of hoping that would be slower, but I'm not, so that kind of sucks. But at the same time, I could just still win because Nidoqueen should be able to take 2 hits from the Virizion. Sludge Wave would hopefully knock it out as well with like 1 hit. So I just go for the Fire Blast. Unfortunately, I miss against the Vikavolt. So that sucks. And now I take beautiful damage from that Energy Ball, and then that could put me in range from the Virizion's attack. So I should still be able to live a hit from the Virizion, unless it's going to be like Z move, like I said, but he doesn't go for a Z move, so I'm guessing it wasn't. I live on 3 HP, he gains all that HP back. I go for Sludge Wave, and the Virizion is going to live on like literally 1 HP, and I'm like, flip stable, what is that? Hey, that was still a really close game though, but dang, that's crazy. What are the odds of that? I could have won so easily, but that dang Virizion went for the hidden power, knocked out Noivern, which Noivern, by the way, like, I thought that was risk-free, but he really got me good right there. Because he only had Mega Bennetts left, Virizion and Vikavolt. Look at Noivern and look at those 3. Like, Noivern just flamethrowers the Vikavolt, Hurricanes the Virizion, and then Mega Bennetts. I mean, it has to Destiny Bond to do something against me. And yeah, Noivern can kind of just taunt it as well, but then I gotta take like a Shadow Claw or a knockoff, and that could be bad because Mega Bennett has really good attack. So anyways, yeah, next up we got versus Joey over here. And Joey, looking at his team, the Honchkrow is going to be a big problem for me. You guys will see. That's for damn sure. Mega Steelix and then Dragalge, probably like Toxic Spikes, I would assume. Maybe just like a especially defensive one. Could also be a offensive Dragalge, just to add more power to his team, because he doesn't have too much power. He has a lot of like bulk, like Melodic, Mandibuzz, stuff like that, and then he has a Sock. So lead off a Noivern, just going to go for a Hurricane. Unfortunately, I do miss. I mean, what do you expect from a 70% accuracy move? Just trying to do something. He knocks off my Life Orb, which sucks. I at least hit the second Hurricane right there. Get some little bit of chip damage, just to see what kind of Mandibuzz it is, see if it's Leftovers, Rock Helmet, what is it. He turns out to be Leftovers. So I'm just going to go for a Roost because Mandibuzz can't do much to me except if it has Taunt or Toxic, but it looks like he's not running both of those moves, so that's pretty good for me. He reveals he has Foul Play. His last 2 moves should be like maybe Roost, maybe Defog, I'm guessing. So Foul Play is not going to be able to stop my Noivern. He's just trying to break through, maybe hope for critical hits. I mean, there's not really much else real reason to switch out, I guess, against my Noivern with his Mandibuzz. So he's just kind of testing the waters, maybe seeing what my move slot is, and I'm doing the same thing as well, just kind of seeing what his moves are on his Mandibuzz. I could be risking a Toxic though, which could suck, but I don't know. Maybe he would predict me to switch into Bronzong. So in came Melodic as I went for the Roost, and now I'm just going to go into my Bronzong. This gives me an opportunity to get my Stealth Rocks up as he just fires off the Ice Beam. Luckily, no Freeze. It would really suck if I got frozen right there, because then he can just bring in Mandibuzz again and just annoy me with his knockoff. So, gonna get my rocks up, and over here I do have the Toxic, but Mandibuzz is gonna go for the knockoff and get rid of my Leftovers, but I do want to Toxic the Mandibuzz, because putting that guy on a timer means that Mandibuzz is not gonna be able to just be annoying against my team. Since I don't have too much to kind of deal with it, to be honest. Like, it can take a hit from a Bandit Snorlax and be annoying. Shaman can't do much to it, so except for Hidden Power Ice, but Mandibuzz can kind of roost on it. So go for Protect, get some more, a little bit of chip with the Toxic damage on the Mandibuzz. Since I don't have Leftovers, I don't really get any recovery, which sucks. It's kind of bad. I got to keep Bronzong healthy, potentially, for his special attackers, maybe. Maybe like the Melodic. So in comes the Nidoqueen, as I pretty much guessed he would go for like a Defog, but he actually went for a Foul Play, so that's pretty good. Now Nidoqueen is in, and I go for the Thunderbolt over here, predicting the Melodic, which is going to be able to two-shot the Melodic, so pretty nice for me. Thunderbolt is a nice tech on Nidoqueen. 4 attacks Nidoqueen is a pretty nice tech, especially when you're modest. Not a lot of people can have switch-ins to it. So Melodic is neutralized, and that means it's going to be great for my Blastoise, because Melodic is one of the best switch-ins to Blastoise. So Blastoise looks like a very big threat versus him now. In comes Steelix. I could go for Earth Power, but Max Bedef Steelix can live in Earth Power, so I want to keep Nidoqueen healthy, especially because it's a fighting resist versus the Sock. Sock does learn Earthquake though, so I gotta be careful of that. I just bring a Blastoise as he goes for the Earthquake, which is to be expected against a Nidoqueen. And that looks like a lot of damage from that Steelix, so I was kind of scared, but hopefully Mega Blastoise can live another one since it does get a boosted stats when it Mega Evolves. In comes the Dragalge though, as I fire off a Scald, and that's fine because Dragalge, I would probably just want to try and weaken this for my team because maybe it can put it in range for maybe a Noivern's Hurricane or something like that. I can bring it in. So I just throw off the Ice Beam right there, maybe even knock out the Dragalge, but unfortunately misses a Draco Meteor right there. Now it's knocking my Blastoise out. That would definitely knock out my Blastoise. So I just go for the second Ice Beam, why not? Knock out the Dragalge, and now in comes Sock to revenge me as he wants to go for the close combat, but I'm going to keep my Blastoise because maybe I can switch in on another Earthquake from the Steelix, or maybe if he wants to go for like a Heavy Slam or Gyro Ball. And plus maybe I was thinking Noivern can take 2 hits from a close combat, but man, Sock is too dang strong. It's going to be Choice Scarf, able to outspeed my Noivern and 2-shot it. So dang, Noivern is not really the bulkiest, but oh well. I was hoping that maybe I could live a hit and go for like Roost or a Hurricane. Actually, Roost wouldn't be the best because if he was slower than me, he could KO me, I think. It feels like Choice Banded. But looking at damage, he wasn't Choice Band. So anyways, I brought a Nidoqueen. I could take a close combat because I do resist that. I just go for the Sludge Wave as in comes Mana Buzz. And that should just be enough to knock out the Mana Buzz the next time because, I mean, look at it. It has no HP left, so yeah. He pretty much has to sack a Pokemon every single time Nidoqueen comes in. That's what I like about Nidoqueen. It's really good. Except for when it comes Steelix, and it should be able to live in Earth Power. So I'm going to switch out Nidoqueen again because I don't want to lose it. And this time I go into Shaman because Shaman is kind of my switch into ground moves. I was kind of predicting a ground move. Maybe if he expects Mega Blastoise to want to come in again. Really scared of Gyro Ball though. Maybe I shouldn't have brought in Shaman though because it does weaken me to the point where maybe Honchkrow can knock me out because looking at my team, I don't have much for a Sucker Punch Honchkrow, and it's getting close to that point where Honchkrow comes in and kind of sweeps me. So I just go for the Bloom Doom, weaken that Steelix right there, and he is going to do a lot of damage to that Gyro Ball. I should have not brung in Shaman. Like, I should have just dealt with Steelix with, like, my Blastoise and my Nidoqueen and just go for Earth Power and stuff like that. So then comes Sock. And Sock is going to be able to just outspeed me and knock me out with the close combat. I mean, Shaman would get knocked out by the Sucker Punch either way, so it doesn't really matter too much. Maybe I could have played around it because I think my Shaman does have Synthesis on it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it does. So maybe I could have played around Sucker Punches, but he could just go for a Brave Bird and destroy me. But he will take a lot of damage from recoil. So in comes Nidoqueen. I could take the close combat. I just go for a Sludge Wave. -2 special defense. Sock is not going to live that. And now in comes the Nightmare Honchkrow. Man, this is one of my favorite Pokemon as well. And the shiny is beautiful as well. Honchkrow, the Murder Crow is what we call this guy. Because looking at my team now, I'm going to be Sucker Punch to death. With that Moxie as well and Life Orb. Ooh! In comes Snorlax. I was kind of hoping Snorlax can live a hit, but nope, he got the superpower. Boom, bada boom. Goodbye, Snorlax. I should have probably brought in Bronzong because Honchkrow actually doesn't learn any other dark move except for Night Slash and Pursuit. And he might not be running either or of those because sometimes Honchkrow likes to just run like Sucker Punch, Brave Bird. I've seen Superpower right there, as you see. And the last move could be iffy. I've seen Heat Wave on Bronzong. I mean, not Bronzong. Honchkrow. I've seen Mirror Move, like Z-Mirror Move, but he's running Life Orb, so yeah, I just go for that. As he tried to go for a Sucker Punch, I guess expecting me to go for like a Gyro Ball or something. Go for Protect, get some more toxic damage. As you can see, I could have probably just won if I brought on Bronzong instead of Snorlax and Nidoqueen, because if I Toxiced him, he would have went for the Sucker Punch thinking I would have attacked him. And then I could have protected, you know, kind of switched out and, you know, let the Life Orb knock him out, let the Toxic rack up, stuff like that. So as long as I landed the Toxic, I could have won, but oh well, hindsight's 20/20. And maybe next time I'll play around with that because I was kind of scared of Night Slash, not gonna lie. I personally like to run Night Slash on the Honchkrow, but he was running Pursuits. So Pursuit's also good as well. Honchkrow is just amazing Pokemon. I love it so much. So kudos to Joey for destroying me with that Honchkrow. And yeah, really fun games today with RU. A lot of losses though, but still, I think those losses were preventable, and you learn from those mistakes. I should have probably not missed Fire Blast against Vikavolt and not switched to Noivern on the Hidden Power Ice and not went for a Self-Destruct on the Snorlax. Over here, I should have probably not, like I said, bring in the Snorlax and Nidoqueen on the Honchkrow and went for a Toxic with my Bronzong, as I could have beaten that as well. And then this game, I should have, I guess, not missed Toxic against the Feraligatr, and then not switch out against the Feraligatr and go into my Nidoqueen, because that was the demise of my team. So that is going to be a GG to everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like. And yeah, if you want more Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles, definitely leave a like on the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace, peace.